Yo, what is going on, you slackers? It's your boy Slackerz Gaming coming at you again with another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. And this time we're going to be showcasing off Herald of Perfection. Now I know a lot of people aren't really a fan of this certain card, or I guess in this case his deck as well, because just negates up the butt and it's super annoying. But yeah, I remember when this card first came out, facing this all the time at locals. Yes, it was a very ridiculous deck to run into, but hey, sometimes you just feel like playing different stuff, and I ended up building Herald of Perfection. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. So let's move the extra deck out of the way. So, of course, Herald deck, you're gonna need your 3 Herald of Perfection. It wins you the game. It negates everything. It gives you advantage and all that sort of stuff. Plain and simple, you need Herald. All right, so the only other ritual monster that we play is Cyber Angel Ben 10. I only do 2. It's a great combo off with what is it, the ritual spell for Herald, which is called Dawn of the Herald. Ditch this, and then there's combos you can do with that. You get to add Ben 10 back, and then you get Ben 10's effect to search for other stuff. So Ben 10 is great in the deck. So yeah, only 5 ritual monsters in the deck. Ben 10 being great because he's a level 6, so it can be used for the entire all 6 stars basically is what I'm trying to get to. Wow, I don't know why I couldn't say that, but yep. So 5 ritual monsters in the deck, and then of course you got to play the Star Seraph engine. This is so good. You got your 3 scepters, 3 sticks, and then sovereignty, 3 chairs as well. This is just so great. If you got a stick in hand, or even if you just got a chair in hand, and you can search out scepter, normal summon. I'll do a combo video a little later in the week. Showcasing, in case you guys don't know what the stick and chair combo is, it's really ridiculous, and it's super, like, it's amazing. You get to draw and pop cards and search. It's super great. So of course you got to do the stick and chair combo. Why not? Plus they're fairies, so hey, if they're in your hand and you really need to, Herald, sends, negates, done. Awesome. Now moving on, we got 2 Manus. I'd like Manu, don't get me wrong. You could search out your ritual monster or your spells, but at the same time, there's sometimes I don't want to see it. Well, it's not that I don't want to see it, but I just wish I had something different. I might actually end up taking Manu out of the deck. I'm not too sure yet, but as of right now, it's a 40 card deck, and we all know pretty much if you're going to play rituals, you're going to almost need Manu. So yeah. Got Manu in the deck there. Then, of course, I also do the Fluffle engine, the 2 bears and the wings. Now, I didn't used to do this, but I seen the plays that this thing could come up with, and like I said, I'm going to be doing a combo video to show you some stuff. But you could tribute bear or send bear from your hand. Get to add a toy vendor. If you got a great opening hand, actually, is toy vendor and Brilliant Fusion. I'll go over that later, but yeah, the Fluffle engine in here, plus they're all fairies as well. It makes the deck very quick, and I really love the Fluffle engine, actually. Now, for the rest of the monsters, I do 2 Gale Dogra. If I take out Manus, I might bump this up to 3. I'm not totally sure right now, but as of right now, I like the deck the way it is. It's 40 cards. It works. It does what it's supposed to. So, Gale Dogra, in case you don't know, pay 3,000 life points to send a extra deck monster from the extra deck to the graveyard. And that combos really well with Herald of the Arc Light, because when that gets sent to the graveyard, you get to search out a ritual monster or spell. So, it's great combos with this thing as well. And rounding out the last bit of monsters is 2 Ghost Ogre, because you need some hand traps. And then the 1 Gem Knight Garnet, because, well, Brilliant Fusion. Simple as that. Alright, so that rounds out the monsters. Done with that. Moving on to the spells. Of course, you got to play the field spell here, Ritual Sanctuary. This thing is so great. You could discard extra stuff that you don't need from your hand, and you get to add a what is it, a light ritual monster. Boom, add the Herald, which is great. And then its second effect, you can return spell cards from your graveyard back to the deck, and then you get to special summon a monster equal to the level of the number of cards, spell cards that were returned. So if you return four spell cards from your graveyard to your deck, you can special summon a level 4 from your graveyard, which is pretty awesome. And if you've already ritual summoned Herald and somehow they got over it, if you have 6 and you play Ritual Sanctuary, return 6, and guess what? You can special summon Herald that way. It does work. I didn't actually know that at first, but once I found that out, that was pretty awesome. And since you can go through spell cards kind of quickly in here, it's great. And if they do get rid of a Herald, you got a great way to bring it back. So yeah, got to have the Sanctuaries. And of course, if you're going to have the Sanctuaries, you need a way to search them out. So as of right now, I only do the 2 terraformings. You know, you got to search it, get it going. And moving on, we got, of course, you need 3 Dawn of the Heralds because you want to get Herald out as quick as possible. And then next, probably one of the best cards in the deck, pre-prep. It's a +1. It's just so good. I don't know why this is at 3 and then Preparation of Rites is at 1. I don't understand it, but hey, it's at 3. You need to play this at 3 in a ritual deck. So boom, 3 preparation, pre-prep, and then of course the 1 Preparation of Rites as well. Still very good. And you need all that for rituals. All right, get this out of the way here. And the last few spells, of course, here's the 3 Brilliant Fusions. And now I did briefly mention this works well. If this, and then of course Toy Vendor for the fluffle part. If you have 1 Toy Vendor and 1 Brilliant Fusion in your hand, this is a beastly combo. But I will go over that later. Yeah, I'll do that in the combo video. It's so great. I don't know, the plays that this thing can open up. It's insane. But and then the last card for the deck, Machine Angel Ritual. Now, I don't really use it's the ritual spell card for the Cyber Angels. So Ben 10 or Ida 10, but I don't play Ida 10 because I don't really necessarily believe you need that extra attack and defense on Herald. You're just going to be negating everything anyway. So, but what I use the Machine Angel Ritual for is I like to try to combo this off of the field spell, Ritual Sanctuary. If I can discard this to the graveyard, now I got a free protection card in the graveyard. So if they try to blow up Herald somehow and I can't negate it, I can, or if I want to save a negation, I can just use this instead, and it saves the Herald. So that works out perfectly. So yep, that is all the cards for the deck, which is a 40 card deck. There we go. Oh man, I love this deck. I love it, but I hate it at the same time. You love playing it, but you hate facing it, because if you go first with this deck and you get Herald out right away, there's a lot of ways you can have like up to 5 negates, maybe more, in your hand with a Herald sitting on field, and that's very tricky and very difficult to get over with, or to get over. So yeah, you love it, but you hate it. All right, so the extra deck, of course, you need Seraphonite, which could get hit on the ban list. Brilliant Fusion could, but hey, it's still out, so you got to use it for right now. And then, of course, you got to do, I do, 2 Herald of the Arclight. Like I said, this combo is great with Gale Dogra. And there's another play with the Brilliant Fusion, because Seraphonite is Earth. I always thought Seraphonite was light for some reason. I didn't notice that. But since this is Earth, and if you can get that and Gale Dogra out in your first turn, you can go into Mrs. Radiant. That way you're not having the Dogra just sit on the field with only 650 attack. So yeah, that's another good thing to go into. So another good play there. Up next, the Exceeds. So we got Abyss Dweller, Emerald, number 102, Star Seraph Sentry, 2 Satellar Knight Deltros, because it works very well with Stick and Chair, because you need Stick and Chair can only go into Exceeds if you use 3 or more materials. So Deltros, and then of course the Evil Swarm Ouroboros, which is a fantastic card. That The card is so good. I love playing this thing. And then rounding out the rest of the extra deck, I do 2 Mrs. Radiance. You could probably cut that down to 1. I don't really ever go into the second one. Well, I do kind of go into the first one somewhat, but you can probably cut that down to 1. But I just threw a second one in here for the extra deck because you need 15 cards. And then rounding out the rest of it, Decode Talker, Firewall, Gyre Saber, and Topologic Bomber Dragon. So that's going to round out the extra deck. You don't necessarily rely on the extra deck so much with this deck, but it's there in case you need it for your stick and chair plays and whatever else you might need. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap up this deck and yeah, this deck profile. So yeah, I'd like to thank everybody again for watching, and we will catch you on the next upload. Peace out, everybody.